What's up, viewers, subscribers, and agents alike? It's your boy, Luciferian Prince, coming at y'all once again. Thank y'all for viewing my channel, for the new subscribers that I have acquired over the years, and for all my new subscribers that I have acquired just this year alone, and for those who I've been rocking with way before I even made it to, I would say, at least about 5,000 subs. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your input. As all your comments, whether good or bad, doesn't really matter. It's cool. And thank you for being here. Now, I was supposed to do this upload sometime last night, but I got a little bit hampered, you know what I'm saying, for some odd reason. If it ain't one thing or another, some things comes up, but it is what it is. It's A-okay. Now, again, as I must proceed in regards to the content of this matter, if you're watching this around children, please remove them from your immediate vicinity because these videos are not for children. If indeed you do need legal advice, this does not constitute legal advice or anything anti-government. The sole purpose of this information is educational and informational purposes only. Simple as that. If you have a legal situation, please consult an attorney. I am not a lawyer. I'm just a man that likes to read. It's protected by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution with freedom of speech. Irrespective of any social contract, I have the right to say whatever I feel. Now, in regards to the topic of the matter, now we got the disclaimer out the way. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, okay? Now, one very vitally important thing I have heard over the times of me talking to people, either private via consultation or just, overall, sharpening the iron with people who I personally talked to, have built a rapport with over the years. A lot of people ask me about a jurisdictional situation. And the jurisdictional situation is one of those situations where you have to understand that the primarily most important form of jurisdiction is subject matter jurisdiction. And subject matter jurisdiction is a jurisdiction that is particularly about what took place during an offense or a hapstance of something being brought before the judiciary. Now, let us look at one very intrinsic and very most important significant thing that they always tell us in regards to any type of legal proceeding in regards to our ongoings or dealings or whatever the case may be in regards to court. They say, upon your arrest, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Now, the reason why these are read to you is because there was a case called Miranda versus United States back in the 70s, and the individual, irrespective of the facts of the case or whatever took place, it was supposed to be a case where somebody wound up, on the dead side of things. And man gave a full-fledged confession. But not knowing of his rights, particularly, he appealed to the Supreme Court, and they overturned his conviction based upon the notion that he wasn't aware of what he said can and will be used against him in the court of law. He was never informed of that. However, I know a lot of people argue whether or not this is a viable claim in certain courts, whether or not you were read your rights prior to your arrest, and so forth and so on. But this is dealing with particular confession. This is dealing with the subject matter of the nature of why the cops actually got to the scene, what took place prior to them getting there, and him giving them the full-fledged information. Not long thereafter, the individual named Miranda, I don't know his first name off the top of my head, but you can look it up. Shortly thereafter, a couple years later, got into a little fisticuff in a bar. He wound up getting stabbed. Lost his life. It is what it is. Happens to the worst of them, to the best of them too. But that's the premise of the case of being read your rights. Now, the reason why the title of this video is going to be called How to Impeach a Prosecutor While the State Cannot Be a Witness to a Crime. Number one, primarily whenever anything is brought before the judiciary, it is normally brought by the statements made by police and witnesses to what took place. That means any offense. It could be from a simple assault all the way down to the worst of the worst. You know what I'm saying? So they're getting information, they're gathering information to bring it before the judiciary because these individuals are the ones who are the initiators of the prosecution of the case. Now, just because a policeman or policewoman makes a statement doesn't make it legitimized. Now, I want you to follow me very carefully for what I'm getting ready to say. Just because the police put a statement against you, that doesn't mean that the affidavit that attends the actual statements is validated under penalty of perjury, number one. Number two, the prosecutor, or the state's attorney, I should say, is the individual who actually tries to act on behalf of the state. Now, the reason why courts never really adequately have subject matter jurisdiction is because in order to have subject matter jurisdiction, there has to be, number one, in any claim that's brought before the judiciary, there has to be an injured party. If there isn't an injured party, the state cannot be the actual plaintiff and try to seek remedy at the same time during the court case. It is illogical for anyone to think otherwise. Now, the reason why I say this is because these individuals purport to undertake the prosecution of a case absent an injured party. Now, they will say in certain court cases, this is the state versus John Doe. This is the state versus Jane Doe. Now, mind you what I'm saying, before anybody gets this misconstrued. Subject matter is only granted to a court in certain offenses when there's an injured party. Okay? Because if you understand that law is about equity, but equity is one of those situations where jurisdiction isn't granted because these individuals never have subject matter jurisdiction because the state itself is a sub-politic body politic. Sorry, my lips did. And basically, as being a sub-corporation body politic, it's a non-existent entity. So the prosecution can never be an actual witness to an offense because they were never there. They're reading statements that were made by other parties who also aren't there. So when you go for arraignment most of the time, and these individuals come up there and they say particularly like, hey, this is the state versus such and such. So they want you to assume the position of the debtor entity, i.e. the straw man that's charged on paper. And they're saying you're charged with, but what they're doing is fraudulent adhesion at that point in time. Now, I know a lot of people like to get into those videos where, you know, the deep state, quote unquote, likes to make it seem like a lot of people off they fucking rocker. They don't know what they're talking about. Blaze blay, right? But that's never the case, to be honest with you. Most of the time, those videos are shown to try to make it seem like the system is impenetrable and can't nobody win. And under no circumstances, this stuff don't work. That's bullshit, y'all. Because I can tell you right now, as a person who's been doing this on his own right, for years, I can tell you I done got some W's off my own validity and my own documentation I showed on my channel, and I won. As you can see, I'm not in jail. I ain't been in jail in years. I don't even like court. I hate the smell of it. But long story short, the state's attorney can never be the witness because you cannot be the plaintiff and a claimant at the same time. That's asinine. And also to mention, when you actually challenge the correctness of subject matter jurisdiction, then if the state wishes to proceed as the injured party, then he or she needs to provide a sworn affidavit that they suffered some type of injury on behalf of the claim in which the officer made. Now, how do you impeach this person? It's just as simple as I just said. He or she, as the state's representative, was not there. So just because they read what an officer says that has the officer testify to it, still does not grant the court jurisdiction to prosecute a case because the officer came after the fact and the prosecution was never there and the judge damn sure wasn't there. So who's the only person who can give actual direct evidence to what took place during an offense? Your ass. That's why they say you have the right to remain silent. Don't say nothing. You don't have to say a damn thing. You don't have to say nothing. You can tell them people, man, kick rocks, get lost, fuck you, get out of my face. You know, all that TV stuff where they want you to request a lawyer and all that. Have you ever seen a lawyer pop up into one of them places and be like, this is my client? No. They're waiting to arraign you to get probable cause to hold you in detention until they can get you to trial or you bond out. So what they're doing is initiating criminal cases where there is no criminality attached to it because there is no injured party. So unless there's an injured party, now let me say this as a disclaimer. If you injured somebody or their property and you did it, you're going to wear that because what are they going to do? The state's going to bring that person who has a grievance against you to say that you did this, you harmed me, or you did something else in regards to how I was affected inadvertently by your actions. So you can't get around that. But if there's no injured party, the court totally lacks subject matter jurisdiction. Totally lacks subject matter jurisdiction. And any movement from that point forward that court wishes to proceed against you as the individual injuring party, you would object to all their actions from that point forward. Then you will actually want to go to trial. I don't care how many years they try to throw at you or make you seem like you are in trouble. If there's no injured party, if they say, well, there's no face, there's no case. If there's no injured party, the state cannot take the stand in any instance to claim that they're the injured party. That's what y'all don't get. This is why they get a lot of people arrested and incarcerated, because you think that you going to trial, they're going to give you all this time because they manipulating and coercing you into contracting and switching the principal obligation into you, the living person. See, where there's no injured party, where there's a fine or a fee involved, according to public policy, it's up to them as constitutors to take care of that debt and that obligation. Now look up Bouvier's Law Dictionary, not Black's, Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 1865 edition, and look up the word constitutor. It is he or she who swore by a simple pact to pay the debt of another. And this is always the principal obligation. So if they are oath-taking officers of the public as servants, and a liability is made on behalf of the public servant executing it, shouldn't it be the public servant duty to actually absolve the individual where there's no injury or no guilty party? Absolutely. You follow what I'm saying? And that is a very significant truth, which is why the state can never take a stand. So if you take it to trial, they're going to wind up dismissing it anyway, because they lack absolute subject matter jurisdiction to prosecute the case, and that's in less than 12 minutes. Just that simple, people. Now, I know a lot of people, a lot of naysayers be on channels and stuff talking about, oh, well, y'all listening to these people and y'all gonna go to jail. Now, listen, I ain't in jail, so fuck them people. Them some naysayers, to be honest with you, they people who really can't interpret the depths of certain knowledge of standing up for themselves, because they some yellow belly ass fucking swine. It's easier to try to tell somebody that something gonna go wrong for them to try to dissuade them, because to be honest with you, it's a lot of people that's out here in society that's real life bitch made. Ain't my fault your booty hole curl up when you stand in front of that judge. That ain't my fault your nut shrivel when you stand in front of them people. I know how to handle them people, which is why I stay the fuck away from them. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. I stay away from them people. I don't bother with the system, and the system don't bother with me. They know where I stand. I'm not leading no revolutionary mission or none of that shit. I'm a child of the Most High that's just destined to live the fulfillment of the life in which the Creator has given me, irrespective of any boundaries or encumbrances that man wants to put in my way for his own profit. Fuck you. That's just the way it is. Now, you got 290 some odd million other souls you could go fuck with, but this is the chosen one. You got me fucked up. I'm not paying you nothing but no damn attention. That's why I'm paying you no attention. So all them naysayers that be going on people's channels and, you know what I'm saying, trying to dissuade y'all like this stuff don't work. Y'all think the system gonna let y'all really see how this stuff work? Do you really think they're gonna show you a L? No. They're gonna show you a billion bunch of failures, because to be honest with you, most of them people that go up there spewing that shit just trying to get out of some shit they already got themselves into. See, the number one key to knowledge is keeping yourself out of trouble. That way you don't have to use it. It's good to know this stuff, but unfortunately we get involved with these people in our life. We can't help it. I don't give a fuck. All the goody two-shoes could talk all the shit they want and act like they ain't never did no wrong. Well, I guarantee their ass got pulled over before, they got fined, or whatever the case may be. They still got affected by the system. Ask the naysayers how they took care of their business, and you'll hear crickets. You know what I'm saying? You'll hear crickets. You know what I'm saying? Because they acquiesce. Don't get mad at those like us who had the spirit of the Most High on us and we stand for what we stand for. You know what I'm saying? Don't be mad at us. So all you people and naysayers into 2025, man, with all due respect, man, eat your own dick. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, because y'all just cowards. I've been doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? And just going by what the law say and going by what it say. Not what man say. Not what people on Instagram say. Not what people on TikTok say. Not what people on all these lives say. No, I am a living testament of what I do, because I use my life on my channel. I don't use what nobody else uses. I use my life as an example. So a bitch can't tell me nothing. And I stand in all humility when I say that. A bitch can't tell me nothing. Come here. Real talk. The proof's in the pudding. So people understand how to impeach the state. You know what I'm saying? The prosecutor, basically. Because they have no subject matter jurisdiction because they weren't there. They can't testify to something that they never saw. They need firsthand evidence. And even witnesses could be impeached too. You know what I'm saying? Even witnesses could be impeached too. Like I said in the previous video, make sure you never let them retain that officer as their witness. You put that officer on your witness list too. Because guess what? You can actually grill him or her in regards to their statement. If their statements conflict with what they told the prosecution, you already won the case because you provided what's called reasonable doubt. Just like that. Straight up. So, on a lighter note, I'm about to get on with the rest of my night, people. Again, like I said, as y'all can see, it's a new setup. I'm planning on starting a podcast. I don't know where I'm going to launch it from. I'm still doing my research and due diligence. And I'm trying to figure out the most profitable way I can do it because, yes, it's a podcast. It's going to be uncut. It's going to be raw. It's going to be real. That's just the way it is. Simple as that. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to the venture. If, like I said, y'all could catch me on TikTok. Sometimes I do lives on TikTok. I tried to go by the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. That don't seem to work because right now TikTok is still in debate whether or not they're still going to use it as a platform. It's still active as of this recording, but sometimes I'm over there dropping gems too. And those who know me, Lord Enlightened, number 7 at TikTok, that's where I be at, chopping it up, dropping the gravy for the nation on that side because it's really little to no censorship over there. So I'm cool with that. But as long as I can still keep banging on these YouTube airways, I'm still going to keep banging as long as I can. It is what it is. But I'm just here as a guidepost and a guiding light. All praise due to the Most High for me being able to do this. But every day I have spirit in my being, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. No slacking, no jacking. Straight up. And it's 100% authentic. And that's just the way we roll in 2025. And also people who are new, I'm not asking, I've asked in previous videos, but I'm not asking people for bucos dollars and all of that stuff like that. But one of the maxims of law, I said it in my videos before, workman is worthy of his wages. If you feel like you want to actually donate for the cause of the channel, whatever, I've been demonetized for all my new subscribers. And all my new subscribers, if you're not receiving notifications, again, it's not me. I'm not doing that. I don't control that at all. I can't, when you subscribe, I can't unsubscribe you. I cannot. That's not me. But since my channel has been demonetized for well over 2 years, I often ask people, you know, chip in, you know what I'm saying? Keep the content going. You know what I'm saying? You know, a couple coins boost the worker morale. You know what I'm saying? And it's just your way of doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Your contribution for your education. Because no matter what, man, freedom ain't free. And I tell people the reason why freedom ain't free, it ain't about no fiat. It's just that you're going to have to fight for it. It's going to cost you some blood, some sweat, maybe some tears. You know what I'm saying? That's sweat equity. So it's going to cost you. I think a lot of people come on these airways and they mislead people, make y'all think, oh, ABC 1, 2, 3, you good to go for life. You got me fucked up. You're going to face a lot of opposition. You're going to face a lot of denials. You're going to face a lot. But that's when you know you're going the right way. You know what I'm saying? See, people want you to think that you can just go up in this plot, get a house, and you just kick your feet up, and you ain't got to do shit. Man, them people don't want you to know that shit. Because when you're exposing them for what they worth, you taking away from them feeding their family. So they ain't going to let you try to get away with that shit. And that's just the way it is. Because down to the root, from all the way up to professional, all the way down to the lowest level of society, it's all about survival, y'all. But what I teach is survival in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talk about what they want to break free. I don't want to break free. Excuse me. I don't want to break free. Not at all. I want to live in it successfully and show that it don't have no power or dominion over me. As long as I don't harm a person or their property, I'm good to go. Everything else is negotiable. Simple as that. And I stand as a living example for this. So y'all stand by. Like I said, take it for what it's worth. This does not constitute legal advice. I'm going to leave my contact information in the video description. And like I said, headed into 2025, people, I'm just going to give you this word of encouragement. For those who feel it within their spirit, real talk, 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 11 to 12. If at first a man's mind be willing, it is first according to what a man has and not according to what he doesn't have. If there first be a willing mind, you know what I'm saying? So you have to be willing in this next transition of what we call the Gregorian calendar year, because those who really know, New Year's in spring, but we're just going to go by the Gregorian indoctrination right now. You're headed into a new business calendrical year, okay? And what you need to do is prioritize yourself. I know a lot of people worried about getting their paperwork in before the 31st and so forth and so on. IRS has a fax number, people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do y'all due diligence in y'all states and y'all counties and areas in which y'all reside, and fax that shit. You know what I'm saying? Fax it. You know what I'm saying? I know fax machines, people always be thinking like, you know, the thing's outdated. No, fax is very much still in use. So if you press for time, you need to get your documentations into the IRS, fax. You know what I'm saying? Just fax off. If you have friends and family or co-workers or so forth and associates that's, you know, willing to help you, fax it all. If you go to a check cashing spot, fax it all. If you go to a library, fax it all. Fax your paperwork, because time is of the essence. As of today, it is the 27th. You got a few more days to get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? And if I ain't mistaken, Tuesday is the 31st. You know what I'm saying? So you fax it off on Tuesday, they receive it Tuesday. And then you ain't got to wait for Friday for them to get it, or Tuesday the week after for them to get it. They get it the same day. So if you press for time, you trying to get your IRS paperwork in prior to any corporation trying to fill out any type of 1099 against you in your state, fax it, people. Nice cover letter, fax it to the IRS. That'll probably be in my next video. If people need assistance with that, contact me via consultation. By the time I upload my next video, I'll have a boilerplate in place, which I use for years, which is very effective. And I haven't had any problems with them people since. But this is just coming from the knowledge that the Most High has endowed me with, and I use it, and them people don't bother me at all. You know what I'm saying? At all. You know what I'm saying? At all. I can, if I had time, I'll show you my tax paperwork and show you where they understand there's already the system, who I am and what I am in regards to taxation. So with that being said, peace, light, love. Y'all take care. Stay tuned for the next upload. Agents, man, fuck you. Fuck off my page. And you won't be allowed on my podcast either, because they're screening on that side of town. You know what I'm saying? Screen on that side of town. But other than that, y'all, stay tuned for the next upload. Stay prosperous. Stay healthy. Keep yourself in a diligent state of mind. Worrying about the solution and not the problem. Trust me, you'll have an abundant year ahead of you. Before you know it, you'll be up in no time. It's all about how you change your mind. Take care. Stay tuned for the next upload. Love y'all. See y'all soon.